When making an offer to purchase a home in North Carolina, it's customary for the buyer to offer up both due diligence and earnest money deposits. Due diligence is unique to North Carolina in the sense that it's a totally non-refundable deposit. You see, unlike earnest money, the due diligence is lost the minute the offer is accepted. It's basically a good faith deposit reimbursement for the seller taking the home off the market in favor of your offer. Now, with that said, due diligence fees can be quite high given the current market. We've seen due diligence checks written for $10, $15, even $20,000 over the past couple of years. It's crazy, but this is why it's super important to make sure that your pre-approval letter is ironclad, that if your loan officer says that you're gonna close, that they mean it. See, if you can't qualify for the mortgage, you'll probably get your earnest money back, but the due diligence portion is gone. So what can you do to protect yourself against losing thousands of dollars in deposits and inspections? Well, the number one way to do so is to make sure that you provide your mortgage loan officer with all of the documents that they ask for quickly. It's important for us to review pay stubs, bank statements, and tax returns before writing a pre-approval letter. See, if we don't verify these things, the pre-approval letter just isn't worth the paper that it's written on, and it could potentially cost clients a lot of money and strain realtor relationships at the same time. I'd like to share two instances that I've personally experienced recently. In the first scenario, I had taken a phone call on a Saturday afternoon from a gentleman who was out looking at houses. His realtor had been showing him houses for the past couple of weekends, and he finally came across the perfect one, and he was ready to make an offer. The problem is he hadn't reached out to a mortgage lender and did not have a pre-approval letter in hand at that time. So I took the application and everything sounded good. You know, he had been on his job for a long time, steady income, decent credit, he had money to put down. All the boxes seemed to be checked off based on our conversation. When I followed up with him and asked him for collaborating documentation, things like pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, he disappeared. I didn't hear back from him the rest of the day. I didn't hear back from him Sunday. And I got back to the office on Monday, called him up to follow up and see where he's at. His response, I got pre-approved with another lender. They didn't ask me for all the documents that you did, so I'm going with them. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'm here in the future if you need any help. Well, a few weeks later, he did call me back. He told me that this other lender down the street was declining his loan. When they finally did collect pay stubs from him, there was a $500 deduction on each paycheck for child support. When I took the application, he told me he did not pay alimony or child support to anybody, but his pay stub said otherwise. Now this other lender has egg on their face because they wrote a pre-approval letter that wasn't worth the paper that it was written on. The guy had made like a $2,000 or $3,000 due diligence deposit, and that was gone. I wasn't able to do the loan either because the debt ratio was just too high with this child support obligation. The math didn't work. So now this guy's out a bunch of money. The realtors are scrambling to clean up the mess. And this poor guy's disappointed that he's not going to buy his dream house. Here's a second similar scenario. I took a phone call from a woman who wanted to do USDA financing. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that this is 100% financing, no down payment required, things like that. And again, everything sounded good. She had a full-time day job, W-2 employee. And again, she hesitated to give me the documents that I had requested. So she went with another lender who didn't ask her for all the paperwork up front. They wrote a pre-approval letter. And oh, by the way, this is a different lender from the first scenario. Wrote her a pre-approval letter, and by the time the file got to USDA, it got denied because based on her tax returns, it was uncovered that she was running a small business as well, and that business income put her over the maximum income threshold to qualify for USDA financing. So she lost out on the house, she lost out on her deposits, and she lost out on the inspections and appraisal fees. What I'm trying to get you to take away from this video is when you apply for a mortgage and you're serious about making an offer, please, please, please get documents to your loan officer. Send them the documents that they've requested as quickly as you can reasonably get your hands on them, because details matter. And if there's something that's gonna blow a deal up, I want to know before I write the pre-approval letter and before you go house shopping, because that'll give us an opportunity to find solutions to that particular issue. Guys, if you have any questions about the process, I'm here. Feel free to call me, email me, comment. Hope everybody has a great day.